Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're taking flight with a special look at the gold standard for superheroes, Superman. And we're starting with everything that you may have missed in Superman's 2025 cinematic return.
Superman said that.
Yeah, I interviewed him right afterwards. Great guy.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at Easter eggs, references, and stray observations you might have missed in James Gunn's Superman.
Oh, come on, man.
What?
Beware of spoilers. Number 10. John Williams' theme lives on. While the DCU Superman has the potential to shape a new generation, elements of its 1978 predecessor are forever iconic. John Williams' musical score is one of them. With Legacy being a core theme, it's only fitting that Gunn's film opens with an updated version of the Superman March. John Murphy and David Fleming also drew inspiration from Williams while composing their score, which contains numerous nods to the definitive Superman theme. Compared to the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy and the Suicide Squad, Gunn doesn't rely as heavily on licensed music for the soundtrack. However, Gunn did create a Spotify playlist for each main character. We can't list them all, but Lex Luthor's includes Controversy by Prince, who notably worked on the Batman soundtrack. Number 9. Search for the Signs. Looking closely at the street signs, the names Wade, Ross, and Jurgens stand out. These could be tributes to Mark Waid, Alex Ross, and Dan Jurgens, who have made major contributions to DC Comics. Waid and Ross gave us the Kingdom Come miniseries, while Jurgens was a writer for the Death of Superman arc. As citizens flee from Metropolis during the third act, Gotham is among the signs leading out of town. Gunn packs in plenty of in-universe product placement as well. During the Kaiju battle, you could spot a billboard for Big Belly Burger, which first appeared in 1988's Adventures of Superman number 441. Superman's fight against the Hammer of Baravia also interrupts an advertising meeting for Chacos, a favorite cookie of Martian Manhunter. Number 8. A cruel twist on the Speeding Bullet line. The Adventures of Superman radio series and Fleischer cartoons helped popularize the faster than a speeding bullet line.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. The infant of Krypton is now the Man of Steel, Superman!
Superman's incredible speed is common knowledge, as is his weakness to kryptonite. Luthor takes both into account when Superman is imprisoned. Weakened by the kryptonite that Metamorpho materializes, Superman is forced to watch as Luthor holds an innocent man named Malik Ali at gunpoint.
Now, the U.S. government has a few questions for you.
Although the civilian lent Superman a helping hand earlier, they otherwise have no connection. That doesn't stop Luthor from forcing Malik into a game of Russian roulette that ends in tragedy. While this is evil no matter how you look at it, Luthor's actions cut especially deep knowing just how easily Superman could have stopped the speeding bullet if not for the kryptonite.
I'll be back later with someone else you've chatted with and I'll kill them too.
Number 7. Legacy cameos. Gunn doesn't forget where Superman originally came from.
Oh, you don't understand. I'm not who I thought I was.
We don't mean the planet Krypton. We're talking about Ohio, where Superman creators Joe Shuster and Jerry Siegel first met. In addition to shooting certain scenes in Ohio, Gunn found room for Siegel's grandsons, James Larson and Michael Larson. The two briefly pop up as employees in the background of the Daily Planet.
Take as many wives as you can, so your genes and Krypton's might and legacy will live on in this new frontier.
The Larsons returned the favor to Gunn, gifting him a reprint of Action Comics #1 signed by Mr. Siegel himself. These aren't the only cameos that pay homage to Superman's forefathers. Will Reeve, actor Christopher Reeve's son, appears as a news reporter. Since Will Reeve is actually an ABC News correspondent, perhaps he's playing himself in the film.
That's Green Lantern, Hawkgirl, and Mr. Terrific. They're funded by the Lord Tech Corporation.
Number 6. Eve Tessmacher betrays Lex. Again. Frequently taking selfies, Lex Luthor's assistant/girlfriend Eve Tessmacher initially seems like a dumb blonde stereotype.
The real Antarctica. So cool.
Smarter than she seems, Eve's photos contain evidence that she plans to use against Lex. It isn't the first time that Eve has betrayed Mr. Luthor. When she first appeared in Richard Donner's original Superman film, Miss Tessmacher is compelled to help Superman when her mother's life is in jeopardy.
Thank you, Miss Tessmacher.
Why is it
I can't get it on with a good guy.
Tessmacher also has an unrequited attraction to Supes, although in Gunn's version, it's Jimmy Olsen she has eyes for. Speaking of Lex's minions, one of his Luthor Corp employees is named Otis, like Ned Beatty's character in the 1978 film. He even gets a last name this time, Otis Berg, a reference to the real estate that never was.
He does. It's been studying him for years.
Number 5. Creature Commandos connections. Although Superman is the DCU's first theatrical release, it didn't kick off the Gods and Monsters chapter. That distinction goes to Creature Commandos.
What a bunch of clowns.
Dangerous clowns.
Frank Grillo, who voiced Rick Flag Sr. in the animated series, makes his live-action debut as the character here. Lawrence Gilligan voiced a Star City news reporter in Creature Commandos. Gilligan appears in Superman as a Sphere news host.
Yeah, I'm sure she's scared, but find her. Yeah, we're all equally scared.
Is this the same reporter? It's also mentioned that the Mighty Crabjoys are among Clark Kent's favorite bands. He's not their only fan. Eric Frankenstein wears a Mighty Crabjoys t-shirt in a flashback where the bride rejects him yet again. The Mighty Crabjoys are not a real musical group. Then again, their theme plays over the Superman credits, so they kind of are now. Number 4. Metamorpho's link to Stag Industries. Anthony Carrigan plays Rex Mason, aka Metamorpho, who Luthor manipulates into helping him keep Superman down.
Rex, a metahuman known as the Element Man, has been called into service for a specific purpose. He can metamorphose into any known substance, even substances foreign to this planet. Like kryptonite.
Metamorpho eventually sees the light, freeing Superman. Together, they save his baby boy Joey. The film doesn't unpack how Metamorpho got his elemental powers, although clues are hidden in the background. After Superman learns the truth about his biological parents, he retreats into the Stag Industries building.
Dude, you got a secret harem?
No, Guy, of course I don't have a harem.
In the comics, Simon Stagg, the CEO of Stagg Enterprises, is the one responsible for transforming Rex. Simon's animosity is intensified when he learns that Rex is in a relationship with his daughter, Sapphire Stagg. Although she doesn't get a line in the film, Sapphire can be seen with Rex and their son Joey while watching the news.
The villagers cling onto what little hope they have left as they're surrounded by the military.
Number 3. No, Ultraman isn't Bizarro. The film opens with Superman losing his first fight ever to the Hammer of Baravia.
Your Superman has abandoned you. The people of Baravia will not ignore him inserting himself into our hair.
We soon learn that the Hammer is Ultraman, a minion of Lex Luthor. This twist comes with another twist, as it turns out that Ultraman is a clone of Superman, hence why their strength and fighting styles are matched. Those only somewhat familiar with the comics might assume that Ultraman is another version of Bizarro. The two are separate characters, with Ultraman being an evil Superman, while Bizarro is backwards Superman.
Superman's exact opposite, who lives in the backwards Bizarro world. Up is down, down is up. He says hello when he leaves, goodbye when he arrives.
Yet the film combines elements of both. In the comics, Ultraman is from an alternate universe, while Bizarro has been depicted as a clone that Luthor created. In Gunn's film, Ultraman is a clone, but a little less bizarre.
Cloning you was relatively simple. All it took was combing the aftermath of your battles until I located a strand of your hair.
That's how you got into the fortress. You had my DNA.
Yes, but as is often the case with cloning, the match was imperfect. He might be even stupider than you.
Number 2. There's no Justice League. Yet. The Hall of Justice has been constructed, but it currently hosts the Justice Gang rather than the Justice League.
What's it called again?
The Justice Gang.
No.
We're not called that.
While Green Lantern, Mr. Terrific, Hawkgirl, and the newly recruited Metamorpho have noble intentions, that might not be the case for their boss, Maxwell Lord. Although Sean Gunn is only on screen as the character for a few seconds, there are several references to Mr. Lord.
It seems like the one thing conservatives and liberals can finally agree on is that Lex Luthor sucks.
Lois Lane has a recording device that was made by Lord Tech. The Lord Tech field is also home to the Metropolis Meteors. The verdict is still out on whether the DCU's Maxwell Lord will be good or evil.
Can you tell us a little about your skills?
I'm considered the finest marksman in the world.
Notably, his comic counterpart helped establish the Justice League International while under the control of a computer bent on world domination. Number 1. Protect Superman. Once once Luthor and the Engineer infiltrate the Fortress of Solitude, they steal the message from Superman's birth parents.
This message
Ketchup.
from his parents. It's damaged, but there's more.
Ketchup.
I can recover the rest.
The Engineer repairs a damaged part of the message, which reveals they didn't send Kal-El to defend Earth, but rather dominate it. When Superman returns to the fortress, Robot Number 4, aka Gary, says that he tried to protect Superman. It's implied that Gary is talking about protecting Superman's fortress, but what if Gary was protecting him from the truth?
Must protect Superman.
Maybe Gary always knew what was on the full message and concealed it from Superman, knowing it would send him down a dark path. Gary claims he's just an automaton with no real feelings. If there's any truth to our theory, though, Gary might have prevented Superman from becoming Brightburn.
I know there is good inside you.
I want to do good. I do.
Did we miss anything?
Can't say I'm surprised, Clevis. It's guys like this, they always got a whole bunch of dark, ugly secrets.
What's a superhero blockbuster without major surprises and memorable cameos? Let's take a look at everyone who showed up in Superman's latest movie offering.
Make a move, Big Blue.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at the most memorable cameos in James Gunn's Superman. Nothing but spoilers here.
You have a role in this film? Do you want to share?
I do. It's very close to home.
Number 10. Sean Gunn as Maxwell Lord. The director is known for casting his younger brother Sean, who appeared as Kraglin in the Guardians of the Galaxy films.
Seems he's going soft.
If he's so soft, why are you whispering for?
In The Suicide Squad, Gunn had a dual role as Calendar Man and Weasel. Gunn will continue to play Weasel in the DCU, having already voiced the character in Creature Commandos along with G.I. Robot.
G.I. Robot?
Yes, Miss Nina?
Would you like anything? Diesel? Some diesel fuel, please, for our robot friend?
Yes, madam. Right away, madam.
Beyond voiceovers, Gunn made his on-screen DCU debut in Superman as Maxwell Lord, the businessman backing the Justice Gang, name pending. If you saw Pedro Pascal's portrayal of Maxwell in Wonder Woman 1984, you know that his intentions with the Justice Gang probably aren't noble. Maybe we'll learn more about his plans in Peacemaker Season 2, where a few other names on this list might pop up.
Can you tell us a little about your skills? I'm considered the finest marksman in the world.
Number 9. Frank Grillo as Rick Flag Sr. The elder Rick Flag also made his DCU debut in Creature Commandos.
What a bunch of clowns.
Dangerous clowns.
Superman brings the Task Force M leader into live action with Frank Grillo reprising his role. Although the Suicide Squad was technically part of the last DC universe, James Gunn is carrying over a few plot points, like Peacemaker being responsible for the death of Flag's son.
I didn't mean to intimate anything about your son, Flag. When he died in Corto Maltese, he died a hero.
Having replaced Amanda Waller as Argus's director, Flag will be targeting Peacemaker. For now, Flag has to deal with Lex Luthor. He's one of several authority figures that Luthor seeks permission from in his pursuit to bring down Superman. Flag knows a monster when he sees one, though, and his instincts about Luthor prove correct.
They chose him. Let them die.
Number 8. Isabella Merced as Kendra Saunders, Hawkgirl. While this is Superman's movie, it makes room for a few other heroes with the Justice Gang. Of its 3 members, Eddie Gathegi's Mr. Terrific gets the most screen time.
Hey! Quit messing around!
I'm not messing around. I'm doing important stuff.
As such, we're not sure he qualifies for cameo status, but Isabella Merced's Hawkgirl is used sparingly enough that we think she counts. Merced previously auditioned for the titular role in the unreleased Batgirl movie, which we'd still like to see, assuming Zaslav hasn't deleted it.
That was the draw for me. I liked Batman more.
Yeah.
I love James and his work.
In any case, Merced soars here as Hawkgirl, who provides backup during Superman's kaiju fight. Hawkgirl sits out Superman's rescue mission but resurfaces for the climax, revealing that she doesn't have a no-killing policy. You gotta crack a few corrupt politicians to make a freedom omelet.
I'm a huge fan of the JLU, that series growing up. I loved the romance between Hawkgirl and Green Lantern. So for me, I would love to see a romance blooming for her.
Number 7. Anthony Carrigan as Rex Mason, Metamorpho. Anthony Carrigan of Barry fame is unrecognizable as Metamorpho, who shares a cell with Superman in Luthor's Pocket Universe prison.
Is this the first live-action Metamorpho?
Yeah, it is.
With his son Joey held captive, Metamorpho reluctantly uses his powers to form kryptonite. After Luthor spills innocent blood, Metamorpho is compelled to help the Man of Steel, not only ditching the kryptonite, but giving him a supercharge.
So much went into creating this look. And I'm so thankful for the practical effects.
Rex and Joey are soon reunited with Sapphire Stagg, who Louisa Krause briefly appears as. No longer content hiding in the shadows, Metamorpho joins the climactic fight to save Boravia. He also joins the Justice Gang, which he thinks is a much cooler name than Hawkgirl gives it credit. Glad to see Carrigan on the side of good after playing Victor Zsasz in another DC universe.
Hello, everyone. My name is Victor Zsasz. I'm sent here personally by Don Carmine Falcone himself on a matter of deep concern to him, so please be respectful.
Number 6. Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner, Green Lantern. The Justice Gang doesn't have an official leader, although Guy Gardner would likely claim that title if anyone asked. Nathan Fillion is another regular in Gunn's filmography.
I'm up there and I'm rubbing elbows with Superman, with Hawkgirl. I mean, it's all the people. It's crazy good.
While he essentially has an extended cameo in Superman, Fillion brings main character energy to the cocky Guy Gardner. It isn't Fillion's first time playing a Green Lantern, voicing Hal Jordan in several animated projects.
You might want to give up now.
Crap, it's the Justice League.
While they took the same oath, Gardner and Jordan have more than a few differences. Gardner's bowl cut is only the beginning. Kyle Chandler will appear as Jordan in the upcoming Lanterns HBO series, which will also see Fillion return as Gardner. With Fillion dropping by the second season of Peacemaker as well, that 2011 film should be a distant memory soon enough.
And also, you said that I suck.
It is not funny.
Number 5. Several familiar voices. You'd need Superman's hearing to pick up on every voice in the film. Michael Rosenbaum, himself a former Lex Luthor, can be heard as Raptor Guard number 1. Most of the voiceover cameos are reserved for the Fortress of Solitude, where Superman's robots reside.
Superman!
Alan Tudyk leads the robots as number 4, who later names himself Gary. Was the name Sonny too obvious? In a mini Guardians of the Galaxy reunion, Tom Klementiev, aka Mantis, and Michael Rooker, aka Yondu, voice 2 other robots.
14 fractured bones.
Damage to bladder, kidney, large intestine, lungs.
Just as number 12 is the new robot, Grace Chen is a newcomer, this being her first theatrical screen credit. An uncredited Jennifer Holland, Gunn's wife and best known to fans as Amelia Harcourt, also lent her voice to another robot toward the end.
I've come to the conclusion you suffer from a particularly severe form of toxic masculinity.
What? Number 4. Bradley Cooper and Angela Serafian as Jor-El and Lara Lorvan. In one universe, Bradley Cooper is the voice of a talking raccoon.
Here you go. Oh, I was just kidding about the leg. I just need these two things. What? No, I thought it'd be funny. Wasn't funny?
In another, he's Superman's biological father. No matter the universe, Cooper has range like few others. The film doesn't spend too much time unpacking how Superman came to our planet, as we all know that by now. We're given a glimpse of the world Kal-El left behind through a recording from his parents. Cooper appears as Jor-El, while Angela Serafian from Westworld plays Lara Lorvan.
Not much of a ride on you. I'll give you a discount.
No offense, but I'd rather earn a woman's affection than pay for it.
Standing out from other versions, we actually hear Kal-El's parents speak in Kryptonese. When translated, it seems that the House of El sent their son to Earth to be its protector. After Lex Luthor fully deciphers the message, Superman's perception of his Kryptonian parents is forever changed.
No matter what you do to me, Luthor, your plans won't work.
Number 3. John Cena as Christopher Smith, Peacemaker. Considering how many of these characters will be in Peacemaker Season 2, it only makes sense for Chris Smith himself to make a cameo.
You ready for the next adventure, pal?
John Cena has a short yet humorous appearance as Peacemaker, who visits a Tucker Carlson-esque new program. Honestly, if superheroes were real, Peacemaker would arguably be the most well-equipped for a conservative talk show. As we've seen before, Peacemaker will believe anything he reads about Superman on Google.
Where do you get this nonsense?
Google.
Well, it's not true.
You know more than Google? Well, congratulations.
He's more than likely reading one of the many lies that Lex Luthor's monkey bots have spread across the web. True or false, Peacemaker never misses an opportunity to crap on Supes, especially when given a televised audience. They both wear star-spangled colors, but these two have very different definitions of America.
The James Gunn quote that I always use, a douchey, bro-y Captain America. Start there. Be that guy, and then begin to work forward on anything else.
Number 2, Millie Alcock as Kara Zor-El, Supergirl. When asked about his dog, Superman says he's more like Krypto's caretaker.
You have a dog?
Near the end, we're introduced to Krypto's true owner, Kara Zor-El, aka Supergirl. The cousins already have an established relationship in this continuity, with Kal-El being the clean-cut defender of humanity and Kara being the younger, more reckless hero who's more interested in partying on other planets.
I just hope they like her. I don't know, I think that it's really exciting and we haven't really had a standalone Supergirl film in a long time, so I just hope that they accept her in the DC family.
Whereas some more recent versions of Supergirl have been more like a role model, Millie Alcock from House of the Dragon plays the character with the spirit of an irresponsible college student. Now we know where Krypto gets his mischievous tendencies from. We guess this means that we'll see more of the Superdog when Alcock takes center stage in next year's solo Supergirl film.
What can we say about Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow?
We can say that I am Supergirl.
Number 1, Will Reeve as news reporter. Initially, this film was going to be titled Superman Legacy.
It's about this pure, good, beautiful guy who is trying to get by in a world that isn't those things. And he just happens to have superpowers.
Although the second word was ultimately dropped, James Gunn pays tribute to the legends who paved the way for his version of Superman. At the Daily Planet, you can spot Michael and James Larson, the grandsons of Superman co-creator Jerry Siegel. Christopher Reeve brought Superman out of the comics, making us believe a man can fly.
Easy, miss. I've got you.
You've got me! Who's got you?
Although Reeve passed away in 2004, his son Will appears in the film as a news reporter. This is fitting in more ways than one. Not only is Will Reeve an ABC News correspondent in real life, but his dad played the quintessential mild-mannered reporter in Clark Kent. Like Clark, this cameo is easy to overlook, but nothing short of super.
But it was a really nice homage to my family's connection to this franchise and to the role.
They say every superhero is defined by their enemies, and Superman's villains are legendary. Let's find out who tops his rogues gallery.
The radiation from the approaching meteor is affecting Superman's mind. He's a danger to us all now, and himself as well. In accordance with that, I am announcing a bounty on him, in the amount of $1 billion.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the strongest, most famous, and evilest baddies that Superman has ever faced in the comics, TV shows, and films.
I'm incredible.
Number 20, Gog. Villains getting the upper hand on Superman is very rare. Yet Gog broke the mold multiple times. In the 1998 comic story The Kingdom, which was a sequel to the iconic Kingdom Come, William was the sole survivor of the nuclear disaster in Kansas. After getting powered by the Quintessence and becoming Gog, he snapped, believing Superman to be evil. So he used his exceptional powers to kill Superman, go back in time, and do it repeatedly. However, when he did time travel, Gog was going to other timelines by mistake and slaying various Clarks. It took a battalion of superheroes to finally stop Gog. The character has also turned up in the main comic universe, nearly killing Clark there too. Number 19, Conduit. It takes some doing to get under Superman's skin. Kenny Braverman, who debuted in 1994, was sick a lot as a child after being exposed to radiation from Clark's ship landing in Kansas. Then, when they were both at school, Clark constantly beat Braverman in athletics. Later, he realized he could channel the kryptonite radiation, causing him to create armor and become Conduit. After stalking Clark, Braverman discovered he was Superman, so he mentally tormented Clark, who went into hiding. However, Conduit wouldn't stop. He killed the woman and knocked Supes out. When he awoke, he was in a fake Smallville, where the robot residents despised and attacked him. This led to a big fight between Supes and Conduit, with the latter perishing. Number 18, Superboy Prime. Imagine all the powers of Superman and more, yet none of the moral compass. That's what you get with Superboy Prime. Debuting in the comics in 1985, Clark Kent was a normal chap in the real world, as DC's heroes were fictional. However, he wasn't from that universe. His powers later came to him as a teenager, resulting in him becoming a hero as he appeared in Crisis on Infinite Earths. During the Infinite Crisis story, Superboy Prime's sanity snapped as he laid siege to the main continuity, as well as killing several heroes, including Connor Kent, older Superman Kal-El, several Teen Titans, and many Green Lanterns. Prime even injured Krypto, which alone makes him one of the nastiest villains ever. Number 17, the Anti-Monitor.
Concentrate your firepower on the center of the Anti-Monitor shielding. We've got to give Supergirl a shot at the creature itself, not its armor.
Speaking of Infinite Crisis, this 1985 story that resulted in the removal of DC's multiverse and only one Earth left standing would need a pretty big hitter to get this deed done. So in comes the Anti-Monitor. The embodiment of evil and antimatter, the cosmic being goes on a tirade, looking to obliterate the multiverse until it's the ruler of the last one. Heroes from several Earths take on the tyrant, including multiple Supermans, even ours. At one point, the Anti-Monitor offs Supergirl after she saves Superman, devastating Clark. It took many heroes and villains teaming together, attacking the Anti-Monitor's equipment, and finally turning him into a flaming head. Earth 2 Superman punched it into a star to end the beam. Number 16, Silver Banshee. When a supervillain makes their comic debut, leaving a big impression is vital. Luckily for Silver Banshee in 1987, she did just that. Seemingly, as she walked along the streets, she offed one civilian after another with a touch. However, when Superman arrived, believing his powers would shield him, he didn't realize it was Banshee's voice doing the slaying. So she seemingly kills him too. After all, Banshee's powers are magic-based, one of Clark's weaknesses. While it was a ruse and he survived, her powerful vocals can really be a problem for her, whether she's Sayabon McDougal or Sayabon Smythe. It grew worse in 2023 when Banshee got a temporary power upgrade from the Phantom Zone. Number 15, Toyman.
You bet. This'll be fun. Uh-oh, wrong rat.
Most people think Toyman is a silly nerd who likes inventions too much and is of little threat to Superman. However, the Man of Steel disagrees, calling him incredibly deadly. To get that title from him, the villain has to be a threat, which Winslow Schott definitely is. With expertise in robotics and in-depth knowledge of biological weapons, Toyman can create all sorts of problems for Superman, and has done so since his comic debut in 1943. The Justice League cartoon showcased his ingenuity by seemingly killing Superman with a disintegrator beam. Instead, it sent them 30,000 years into the future. The fact that Toyman has the time-traveling know-how, albeit accidentally, is terrifying. Number 14, Lobo.
You two little candy eyes ain't felt nothing yet.
The main man is almost the antithesis of Superman. He's mean, dressed as a grungy biker, and has no issue with offing his opponent. Yet Lobo and Clark also share a lot of similarities, being the last of their kind and super OP'd. As such, it's always epic when the duo clash. One of their best battles was one of their first. In 1990, the duo met in Adventures of Superman number 464. After being knocked about by Lobo and being weakened by Kryptonite, Clark slipped inside Kryptonian battle armor. So Lobo used rockets from his Space Hog to seemingly obliterate the Kryptonian. However, Supes used a projector to fake his demise, allowing these two behemoths to fight more over the decades.
You were right. This was the fun way.
Number 13, Ultra Humanite. In 1939, a bald, maniacal white man who dreamed of world domination became a thorn in the side of Superman. Nope, it's not Lex Luthor. Before he came along and took over the spotlight, we had the mad scientist and wheelchair user, the Ultra Humanite. With Superman a lot more reckless in those days, Ultra seemingly perished several times when the duo fought. However, he showcased the knowledge to transfer his brain and later his consciousness into another body. By 1940, Ultra was replaced by Luthor as Soup's nemesis. Decades later, Ultra would appear in his most famous form, a large-head albino gorilla from Gorilla City, which gave him super strength, telekinesis, and other superpowers, making him more of a problem for Superman.
There goes our paycheck.
Number 12, Ultraman.
Sweet home.
While there have been various iterations of Superman who have sided with evil in DC, none have left as much of an impression as Ultraman. First debuting in the comics in 1964, the Clark Kent variant from Earth 3 is a leading figure of the Crime Syndicate, which is an evil Justice League that essentially controls their planet for dastardly deeds. One of his biggest differences from Superman is that, rather than go weak and perish from green kryptonite, Ultraman's powers increases when he consumes the glowing rock, leading to him abusing it. As ruthless as Superman is a Boy Scout, Ultraman is an iconic force to be reckoned with.
You think you can come to my place of business and call me out?
Number 11, Mongul.
Now, Kryptonian, it's just you and me.
Whether it's Mongul 1, aka Mongul MDCCXCI, or his son Mongul 2, aka Mongul MDCCXCII, the leader tyrant of Warworld has a real problem with Superman. Making his debut in the comics in 1980, in his early appearances, he was equal, if not more powerful than Clark. It's not just Mongul's strength that Superman needs to watch out for. Instead, it's the tyrant's scientific genius that led to him creating the Black Mercy. This parasitic plant latches onto a person and makes them think they're living in a paradise reality while completely immobilized in the real world. When Superman was under its influence, he imagined a happy, merry life on Krypton. So when he escaped, you can imagine how furious Supes was with Mongul.
I'm sick. Lex Luthor.
Number 10, Cyborg Superman.
We may see it differently, but in the eyes of the law, Lex Luthor is not a criminal. The rule of law is a rule you never break, and real justice is everyone's right.
Have you ever wondered what Superman would look like if he were a Terminator? Well then, do we have the terrifying villain for you. Debuting in the comics in 1990, Hank Henshaw's human form was destroyed, leading to him, for some reason, blaming Superman despite the hero's attempts to help. He was able to upload his consciousness into technology, allowing him to create a shiny cyborg body. After Clark kicked the bucket, Henshaw returned as Cyborg Superman, fooling the world that he was Clark reincarnated, when he really wanted to destroy his legacy. After all, he aided Mongul in destroying Coast City. Henshaw can constantly upgrade his body, making him an ever-increasing problem for Superman whenever the duo clash.
You won't kill me, and I won't stop until I kill you.
Number 9, Mr. Mxyzptlk.
Kara, sweetie, it's like I said, I'm your one true love, your soulmate, your one true pairing, as the kids say. My name is Mxyzptlk, and I love you, Kara, so I am.
Thankfully, whenever Mxyzptlk appears, it's typically to create shenanigans for Superman. If he decided to go full evil, the DC universe would never be the same again. Mxyzptlk has shown signs of this, such as tormenting Phantom Zone prisoners who tried to steal his powers. Debuting in the comics in 1944, the fifth-dimensional imp thinks of himself as Superman's friend. Armed with the power to warp reality and being a connoisseur of mischief, when he appears, Superman is always going to have a bad day. With all that power, how can Superman defeat Mxyzptlk, we hear you think? Well, by tricking the imp into saying his name backwards, which will banish him to his dimension and reverse the reality tinkering he'd done.
And now I'm gone. Gone forever!
Number 8, Parasite. Real-life parasites are very gross. Using a living being for sustenance, weakening the host while strengthening themselves? Yikes. So imagine a supervillain just like that, but more horrifying. And you have DC's Parasite. Debuting in the comics in 1966, several characters have had the Parasite moniker. This baddie absorbs power sources, often energy from other people with physical contact. Rudy Jones could even take on the abilities of those whom he fed on, including Superman. This understandably causes a lot of issues for Clark, since Parasite gets stronger as his strength drops. At one point, Jones helped the Man of Steel, who was overloaded with solar energy, by absorbing his heat vision. However, that power turned him into a more menacing looking Parasite.
The intern. Or is it Kal-El?
Number 7, Metallo. As everyone knows, green kryptonite is not great for Superman. He's super allergic to it. So when a villain comes along who's powered by the glowing stone, Clark has a big problem on his Kryptonian hands. Debuting in the comics in 1959, several characters have been Metallo, a cyborg powered by kryptonite. Due to not needing to rest, possessing a metal body, being resistant to physical and energy attacks, and several superhuman abilities, he can battle Superman toe-to-toe, weakening him further by showcasing his green heart. If it wasn't for Still in Action Comics number 4 in 2011, Metallo would have obliterated Superman with a green kryptonite blast.
From me to you.
Number 6, Bizarro.
I'm not gonna let you kill anyone else.
Imagine walking down the street and bumping into a mirror version of yourself. They have all the abilities you have, but maybe a little skewed and look like a zombie or a cubic version of you. Sounds terrifying, right? Well, that's what Superman has to mentally endure every time Bizarro turns up. Since debuting in the comics in 1958, the duo has battled it, typically due to a misunderstanding or manipulation from another character. Bizarro was created with a duplicating ray, and later, he was an imperfect clone of Superman. He has perished several times, only for science to bring Bizarro back. While typically speaking with broken English and having the mind of a child, Bizarro is just as formidable as Superman.
No, I'm Superman. You am Superman.
Number 5, General Zod.
I take it you're Zod?
General Zod, our commander.
It's all right, Feyora. We can forgive Kal any lapses in decorum. He's a stranger to our ways. There should be cause for celebration, not conflict.
If you wondered what Superman would be like if he were a power-hungry dictator and didn't want to dabble with injustice, then Drew Zod is the best answer. Debuting in the comics in 1961, he was a leading figure on Krypton who attempted to take the planet over as it approaches destruction. However, Zod's plan was foiled and he was sent to the Phantom Zone, which protected him from Krypton's annihilation. With a cult of personality and all the abilities of Superman with Earth's yellow sun, Zod is a megalomaniac desperate to turn Clark's adopted home into Krypton 2.0 for him to rule over. With his catchphrase of "kneel before Zod," this has brought him into bruising conflict with Clark very often.
If you love these people so much, you can mourn for them.
Number 4, Doomsday. Not many supervillains can take the life of the Man of Steel, but not everyone is like Doomsday. Arriving in the comics in 1992, the genetically engineered primordial Kryptonian monster is more than a match for Suits. Like the Hulk, but with spiky bone-like protrusions, Doomsday evolves, making him more difficult to defeat and giving him new powers. In 1993 Superman number 75, Doomsday and Clark went on a brutal battle throughout Metropolis. Technically, the fight ended in a draw as both seemingly perished from the fight. We say seemingly as Clark was technically put into a Kryptonian healing coma. In 2014, Doomsday evolved further, setting things ablaze in his vicinity, which wiped out 1 million animals and nearly Superman 2. Number 3, Darkseid. Is there a bigger bad in comics that causes readers' heartbeats to increase with the slightest mention of his name more so than Darkseid? Probably not.
I gave my word I would not come for the girl. Your death, however, is long overdue, Superman.
Debuting in the comics in 1970, the ruler of Apokolips, a new god, and the anti-life equation enthusiast is a force to be reckoned with. Armed with a planet's worth of minions and parademons, not only are they a problem, but so is Darkseid himself. More than a match, if not far stronger than the Man of Steel, Darkseid is the proud possessor of Omega Beams, a versatile ability that uses cosmic energy to destroy, teleport, and more. Due to Darkseid wanting to rule the Earth, he and Superman have constantly clashed, which is always a sight to behold. Number 2, Brainiac.
So, you must be Brainiac. Okay.
Since Superman's beginnings, Brainiac has been there. He went to Krypton and shrank Kandor, turning it into a bottle city for his collection. Making his comics debut in 1958, due to DC rebooting its universe, Brainiac's origins have changed. Currently, he was previously known as Real Dox, a scientist who merged his consciousness into an AI. With a genius intellect allowing him to create many incredible weapons, he also has cybernetic enhancements, giving him several powers such as energy projections and mind control. With his passion for collecting cities, Brainiac can also make new bodies, meaning he can battle Superman with little regard for his health. However, rather than relying on overwhelming powers, he uses his smarts, making him more than a match for Superman.
All of your efforts have been futile. Even if she catches the missile, I'll fire another.
Number 1, Nuclear Man. The powerhouse of the Superman legend from the best comic film ever. No, not at all. Number 1, Lex Luthor.
I haven't woken up with the thought of strangling you.
Was there ever going to be anyone else in the top slot? After all, these characters have been intertwined since Lex debuted in the comics in 1940. Without the scheming corporate genius billionaire as his arch nemesis, would Superman have lasted as long as he has? Maybe not.
Lex, I tried to stop him.
It's fine, Heather. Superman, we finally meet. Would you like a coffee?
Where's the dog?
Dog?
With incredible resources and a strong xenophobic desire, Lex has made it his mission to prove to everyone that Superman is a massive fraud and a threat to humans. It's not always a fight Superman can battle with his hands, although he has to do that too when Lex dons his power suit, but it usually requires a battle of minds between the two. As such, no other villain has challenged Superman as much as Luthor.
For all his shining heroics, Superman has had his fair share of shocking, tragic, and downright dark moments.
If you love these people so much, you can mourn for them.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most scary moments involving the Man of Steel from across film and television. We'll be getting into spoilers for various DC movies and TV shows, so consider this your warning.
This isn't you. You don't do this.
I do now.
Number 10, Superman lets loose against Darkseid, Justice League Unlimited.
I feel like I live in a world made of cardboard, always taking constant care not to break something, to break someone.
For as great as the DCAU was, a common complaint was that it toned down the extent of Superman's strength. While it's perfectly valid to be frustrated by this, that show of restraint helped make moments like this hit that much harder. In the action-packed finale to Justice League Unlimited, Superman finally unleashes the full might of his power on Darkseid.
What we have here is a rare opportunity for me to cut loose and show you just how powerful I really am.
Superman perfectly describes how careful he always has to be, and then finally has a chance to let loose. every punch feels like it's rocking the world right off its axis. It's a triumphant moment, yet also a haunting reminder that Superman really is the most powerful hero in existence. If he lost his cool, it'd be game over. So yeah, don't cross him.
Had enough.
Number 9, dropping Toyman to his death, Superman Doomsday.
Superman, what was you doing? Toyman would have killed again. An example needed to be set.
When it comes to making a statement, there's nothing like sending a villain plummeting straight to his demise to really seal the deal. Having been fed up with the Toyman's crimes, Superman decided that he finally had to take decisive matters against this particular rogue.
I need a moment with your prisoner.
What? Well, you can't!
Is that allowed?
He flew him all the way up into the air and then let him go, causing Toyman to plummet into a free fall and crash.
How about goodbye?
It's worth acknowledging that this was technically a clone of Superman. However, this plot twist wasn't revealed until later in the film. So in most citizens' eyes, Big Blue suddenly went off script. Clone or no clone, this terrifying execution is more than enough to make the criminals of Metropolis second-guess themselves.
Did he just drop him?
Number 8, Superman kills Lois, Superman and Lois.
Kryptonians want you to think that they're indestructible. They're not. They have a weakness. It is a rock from their home planet.
In pretty much every universe, Superman loves Lois Lane. Well, except this one, apparently. On one particular Earth within the multiverse, we see an evil Superman who lords over the planet. His tyranny directly impacts John Henry Irons, who watches his wife Lois Lane get killed by the Kryptonian on a live news broadcast.
I love you, Brooks.
It's sadistic what this Superman variant does, and a clear betrayal of what we know the Man of Steel to be. The murder of Lois would also be a crucial moment for John, as he'd then dedicate his life to fighting this Superman. The multiverse can be a fun way to explore new worlds, but it can also be a way to discover nightmarish versions of the heroes we love.
Set up the meet.
Number 7, taken over by Trigon, Justice League Dark Apocalypse War.
I'm offering you a willing magical host. Let's kill the bastard.
I have a better idea.
Bollocks! With Darkseid having successfully taken over the world, things were dire for the superhero community. Many heroes were wiped out, the others forced into servitude under Darkseid. Things were actually so bad that in order to gain an advantage over Darkseid, Superman had to be bound to the demon Trigon in order to stop him.
You are one of the so-called new gods. I am unimpressed.
It gave Superman enhanced abilities, also turned him temporarily into a devilish creature. Horns sprouted from his head, his eyes turned red, and his cape and crest were set ablaze. Besides looking super scary, Trigon possessing Superman is a very dangerous situation if left unchecked. This strategy may have proved valuable against Darkseid, but a satanic Superman isn't what we want to see on the regular.
You'll have to be strong. I know you can do it.
Lois?
I love you.
Number 6, lobotomizing Doomsday, Justice League.
You think that can hurt me? My skin can withstand a nuclear explosion.
In the acclaimed Justice League animated series, we're introduced to a rogue alternate version of the League called the Justice Lords. At the helm of this team is another Superman, one who decided that controlling people was better than protecting them. This Superman had no problem taking a rampant Doomsday down any way possible, by sending heat blasts straight into Doomsday's head.
My bones are... my... bones.
Superman essentially lobotomizes the creature to save the day. It stops Doomsday, but it's arguably a step too far. Desperate times call for desperate measures, but was this necessary? Even the regular DCAU Superman makes controversial decisions against Doomsday by banishing him into the Phantom Zone after he resurfaces. Safe to say that Doomsday brings out the worst in this hero.
What if Luthor does become president, like he did in their world? What would stop you from doing what that Superman did?
Number 5, getting shot with a kryptonite bullet, Justice League Doom.
Kryptonite bullet?
We know that Superman is one of the strongest superheroes in the game, but he's not invincible, and this moment proves that. When the Man of Steel tries consoling a man who's close to jumping from a building, things take a drastic turn. The helpless man turns out to be Metallo, who shoots Superman with a kryptonite bullet. To make matters worse, he then plummets to the ground in a nasty bump. It's rare to see our hero getting gunned down, so this moment is quite the shock. It gets even darker when you realize this all happened because the bad guys got a hold of Batman's contingency plans for neutralizing the League. This wasn't just a brutal shooting, it was also a metaphorical backstabbing.
What happened? Why don't you ask him?
Number 4, crushing Batman's heart. Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. During a trippy dream sequence showcasing the Nightmare timeline, Batman is captured by several military soldiers and held in an unknown location. It's there that a pissed-off Superman makes his introduction. He's not exactly on good terms with Batman in this scene, and one can assume that the Man of Tomorrow has gone off the deep end.
She was my world, and you took her from me.
To prove that point, Superman reaches towards Batman's chest and proceeds to crush his heart. This is one wild way of sending a message. When we say that Superman broke Batman's heart, we mean that. Granted, we don't see the full extent of the damage, but given how Bruce reacted, it clearly didn't feel good. Hopefully, Nightmare Superman remains as what he was here, a bad dream. Number 3, messing around with the Elite. Superman vs. the Elite.
You all saw! Everyone on Earth saw what you did to us, and they know you know better. There's nothing special about you.
If someone possesses absolute power, shouldn't they do anything they want with it? Some people believe this is how Superman should act, including the Elite. They're a group of new superheroes who use brutal means to take down villains, which causes Superman to clash with them. Their leader, Manchester Black, wants heroes to start killing, and eventually Superman snaps. In a harrowing sequence, the Elite are picked off one by one. It's so scary that it causes Manchester Black to break down in fear almost immediately. Intimidation tactics aren't usually how Superman operates, but they were necessary here to show everyone the errors of their thinking. The Man of Steel should never kill, and this scenario shows us why.
Hell of a performance.
Number 2, snapping Zod's neck, Man of Steel. For the longest time, Kal-El thought that he was the last of his people, until the arrival of Zod proved that he wasn't as alone as he thought. But when the two Kryptonians inevitably clashed, disaster was waiting to strike.
I'm going to make them suffer, Kal. These humans you've adopted, I will take them all from you one by one.
In order to save a nearby family from Zod's heat vision, Superman snapped the villain's neck. Having taken a life, the controversial moment rattled Superman to his core and divided the fan base. He killed Zod before in Superman 2, but it was never as brutal as this. Maybe the ends justified the means, but at the end of the day, Superman killed someone. And not just anybody, he murdered a person from his own species. Ultimately, it's a tough situation to deal with. Number 1, killing Joker, Injustice.
Clark, how are you?
Angry.
That is your right.
We've seen a couple of evil Superman now, but Injustice Superman takes the cake. Look at what he did to Joker if you need convincing. Instead of just tormenting Batman, this clown decided to pick a fight with Superman 2. He tricked the Kryptonian into killing his pregnant wife Lois Lane, which caused him to snap. How did Superman react to this tragedy? By sending his arm through the Joker's body. That's how. We can sympathize with Superman, but this swift execution was undeniably a shift towards the dark side. In fact, he became a ruthless tyrant after this, coldly killing anyone who opposed him. This isn't just one of Superman's darkest moments, it's also essentially the catalyst for a full-scale superhero civil war. Yikes.
When Superman goes beast mode, you know you're in for a spectacle. Here now are all the times Superman pushed his powers to the limit and showed everybody why he's the ultimate unstoppable force.
I've tried to reason with you. I've tried to show you there's another way.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most insane times Superman stripped back the blue Boy Scout image and really let loose in comics, films, and TV shows.
Lex, I tried to stop him.
It's fine, Heather. Superman, we finally meet. Would you like a coffee?
Where's the dog?
Number 30, Darkseid Destroyer, Superman the Animated Series.
I can't believe he's blood.
You used me.
I told you once, Superman. If you would not be my knight, you would be my pawn.
I see you're a man of your word.
In the final episode of this cult classic show, the creators gave us what we desperately desired, a full-blown bout between Superman and Darkseid. In Legacy Part 1, Supes had been brainwashed to think he was the adopted son of Apocalypse's ruler.
You've done well, son.
Thank you, Father. As you say, it is our destiny to bring peace and order to the universe.
In Part 2, he gets his memories back and is really mad. After defeating Granny Goodness, the Female Furies, and Calabac with ease, Superman battles Darkseid. However, he's weakened due to the lack of yellow sun energy in the previous battles.
That's for Dan Turpin.
Who?
The good man you murdered.
Had I known one human's death would pain you so, I would have killed more.
As Darkseid taunts Superman about killing those he loves, Clark blocks his Omega beams with his hands, causing an explosion. With a broken Darkseid, Superman throws him to the slaves, expecting some form of crowd justice. Instead, they look after their ruler.
I am many things, Kal-El, but here, I am God.
Number 29, Absolute Power, Superman Batman number 15. Usually when Superman and Batman team up, they do so heroically and with as few casualties as possible.
Did you find the spear?
I've been a little busy.
During the 2005 comic story Absolute Power in Superman Batman, that wasn't the case. The duo had their lives changed when future villains Lightning Lord, Saturn Queen, and Cosmic King went back in time to manipulate their origins, raising them to be their weapons. At one point, this involved Superman vaporizing Green Arrow. However, when Wonder Woman raised a resistance against their rule, she ended up taking Batman's life. Clark, now enraged, held nothing back as he took her life with her own lasso. He then applied similar gestures to the rest of her team. Yikes. Number 28, Yellow Lantern Superman, Injustice Gods Among Us Year 2, number 24. In a world where Superman snaps and becomes a dictator, there are plenty of times he lets loose in the comic series, but none is quite as effortless as this. After Black Canary tries to assassinate him, Superman is inducted into the Yellow Lanterns as he can instill great fear. This allows him to remove the green kryptonite bullet, causing him to seemingly kill her. But he's not done. A powered-up Clark cleaves through the Green Lanterns, coming face-to-face with Ganthet. After shrugging off the Guardian's lethal attack, Superman slams him into the sentient planet and Green Lantern powerhouse member Mogo. Despite both blasting Clark, he pushes the two into the sun. Number 27, Cousin Revenge, Superman Batman Apocalypse. If there's anything to take from this video for villains, never attack Superman's loved ones. In the 2010 animated film Superman Batman Apocalypse, Darkseid didn't heed this warning as he captured his cousin, Kara Zor-El, aka Supergirl, brainwashing her into the Furies.
Let's go home.
That's the problem, cousin. I'm not sure where home is.
When she's later released, Darkseid arrives to attack Earth. After whacking Superman into space, Darkseid and Kara battle furiously.
There's more where that came from.
Fearless, untapped power. It would have been a glorious life for you, captain of my honor guard. Instead, my Omega beams will reduce you to ashes.
Take your best shot.
He eventually knocks her out. Now enraged by the attack on his cousin, Supes flies in and combats Darkseid, devastating the landscape. Just as Darkseid gets the upper hand, Kara opens a mother box, allowing Superman to blast him into the portal with the threat that if he returned, he won't be going back to Apocalypse.
Don't ever come here again, or you won't be going back.
Number 26, Superman the Executioner, Superman number 22. Often, comic covers can be misleading about what actually happens in the panels. However, 1988's cover of issue 22 of Superman barely did this. Essentially, all that was misdirection was the hood. It features a tale that had notorious Kryptonian criminals General Zod, Zeora, and Quetzal running rampant in the Pocket Universe, laying waste to the Earth and its heroes. Superman was alerted to the danger and entered to stop them. With the kryptonite not affecting him as it's from this universe, Superman used gold kryptonite to take away the trio's powers. However, after they declared they would get their powers back and would destroy Superman's Earth, he whipped out the green kryptonite, taking their lives. Zeora even offering services as she perished was haunting. Number 25. Half Doomsday. Superman Doomed Number 1. Doomsday is one of Superman's biggest baddies. He constantly evolves, making weaknesses no longer a problem. Well, in the 2014 Doomed comic story, he took things up to a massive level. Simply by being in his vicinity, material will disintegrate due to his toxins. This caused him to wipe out 1 million animals within a day, making the wildebeest endangered and severely injuring heroes and killing civilians. When Superman faced him, he had no choice but to go all out against the behemoth as he took Doomsday into space. Even though he incinerated the creature, Doomsday came back for more. With no choice, Superman tore Doomsday in half, inhaling the ashes and becoming infected with the Doomsday virus. Number 24. The Solar Flare. Superman number 38. Superman is well known for having a lot of OP abilities. However, none of those comes close to his solar flare. In the 2015 story The Men of Tomorrow, Clark met Ulysses, a character who shares a similar origin to his. However, when Superman inadvertently destroys Ulysses' great world, the two go to battle as Ulysses announces his intention to obliterate Earth. During it, Clark blasts him with his trusty heat vision. However, with Supes using his heat vision to its limit, the new solar flare power erupts. All of Clark's cells send out their stored solar energy, causing a massive wave of explosive force. If Ulysses were not superhuman, he'd have been turned to dust, just like the landscape was. Number 23. Infected Superman. Deceased number 5. In a world where a corrupt anti-life equation has essentially turned people into zombies, there's drama and darkness at every turn in the comic series Deceased. Superman becomes infected when taking out a rampaging Flash. Before he can get far enough away from Earth, the equation takes over, turning the planet's biggest hitter into its worst nightmare. This infected Superman obliterates a New York City building with survivors within. He then levels most of the city. Even after Wonder Woman battles him with a green kryptonite magic sword, Superman still infects her. Next, he tries to stop the survivors from leaving, only being stopped by his son. When the numbers against him are too much, Superman goes into the sun and slowly drains it. Number 22. Destroying the World Forgers Multiverse. Justice League number 25. With the Legion of Doom and the multiverse-creating Celestial Perpetua threatening existence, Superman entered the 6th dimension in the same-named 2019 story to stop them. However, within moments, an older Superman appears. That wasn't Clark, but Perpetua's son Alpheus, aka the World Forger. The real Superman was trapped by him on a barren, sunless planet filled with the remains of other Supermen as his power and essence deplete. After the Justice League realizes the deception, Batman manages to get Yellow Suns into the prison. Clark quickly begins to supercharge, so much so that his flight can be heard across dimensions. He lays up a punch that not only clocks Alpheus but destroys the multiverse he had created. Number 21. Superman Smash. Marvel vs. DC number 3. In the biggest crossover event of the century, the publishing juggernauts of Marvel and DC smashed their universes together in 1996. With a story that one universe would end, a competition was put together, giving fans a chance to see matchups they'd only dreamed about. In issue 3, one of Marvel's strongest heroes, Hulk, took on DC's equivalent, Superman. With the battle taking place in the Grand Canyon, the duo could go to town. The Hulk holds little back with furious strikes and shrugs off mullet-haired Superman's heat vision. Fearing for his loved ones' existences, Supes lets his full might out with a single punch across the Hulk's head, knocking the beast unconscious, a feat very few have replicated. Number 20. Stopping President Luthor. Superman Batman Public Enemies. While the evil genius isn't usually a physical match for the Man of Steel, the antagonist was able to even the odds with the help of kryptonite and a powerful suit. Lex initially overwhelms Superman in a direct fight, but when the villain's plans seemingly lead to Batman's demise, the rage-filled Kryptonian lashes out.
That was my best friend. And you just killed him.
Superman completely disregards kryptonite-enhanced lasers so he can break Luthor's suit. When the villain was at a vulnerable position, Superman gave his foe an express ticket to the ground and disabled the suit. None of Lex's considerable brainpower could save him from the hero's beast mode beatdown.
And I am the president! Consider yourself impeached.
Number 19, wrecking one final robot, My Adventures with Superman. Before Clark started saving everyone as a world-famous hero, he was just another Daily Planet intern that wanted to be normal. When his co-workers Lois and Jimmy get targeted by a big robot during an investigation, the Kryptonian leaned into his super heritage to save them. Clark got off to a great start by dispatching a mechanical monstrosity with strength and smarts. Unfortunately, he got hurt when multiple robots were sent after him at once. Once Clark saw Lois was in grave danger, he pushed past his wounds and limits and reached an entirely new level of power.
No!
His final punch even sent the robot towards the stratosphere. This victory served as an early sign that this version of Clark was a powerhouse.
A normal man having a normal day, huh? Who am I?
Number 18, lifting an island. Superman returns.
Tonight. You're asking yourself.
A twisted scheme from Lex Luthor resulted in the creation of a huge island that was made out of constantly growing crystals and kryptonite. In order to stop the landmass from permanently damaging the Earth, Superman decided to pick it up and put it down in space. The fact that he was able to lift something island-sized is impressive on its own. But what makes this feat more impressive is the knowledge that his greatest weakness was expanding within the landmass too. Although Superman should have been too weak to even think about lifting, he defied expectations and did not stop until the terrible island had been sent into the vacuum of space. His unbreakable willpower showed everyone why he was nicknamed the Man of Steel.
You will make my strength your own. You will see my life through your eyes.
Number 17, beating Bizarro, Superman and Lois. During this superhero series, we're introduced to a Bizarro Man of Steel that has all the strengths of Superman with slightly different powers and weaknesses. He inevitably found himself trading blows with a traditional version of the Kryptonian.
I'm not gonna let you kill anyone else.
The classic Superman punched Bizarro through buildings and unleashed tons of abilities. When powers alone didn't do the trick, the good Clark took advantage of his enemy's weakness to a substance called X-Kryptonite. Superman decided to hold two of the crystals in his hand and to not stop punching until Bizarro was unconscious. Clark's vicious tactics kept his enemy from committing more acts of violence.
I should have killed you. You tried. More than once.
Number 16, crushing Captain Marvel, aka Shazam, Justice League Unlimited. After Lex Luthor built a mysterious device underneath a city, Superman was unwilling to let it operate freely. But when the Kryptonian tried to stop it, Captain Marvel defended the villain's invention.
You can't just... That's it. No more Mr. Nice Guy.
It didn't take long before a verbal disagreement turned into an all-out brawl between the godlike heroes. Although Captain Marvel's combination of formidable strength and magical powers was a problem, Superman kept overwhelming his foe at every turn. The fight led to the savage moment where the Man of Steel forced Shazam to get hit by magical lightning. We understand exactly why Captain Marvel resigned from the Justice League after this brutal clash.
Shazam! Fight's over, son.
Number 15, reversing the Earth's rotation, Superman. There was a moment where it appeared that Christopher Reeves' Superman had lost Lois Lane due to a tragic accident. After holding her in his arms, the Man of Steel realized that he couldn't accept her death. Overcome with emotion, Superman flew into space and moved so fast that he reversed the rotation of the Earth. His beast mode actions broke the natural laws of physics and allowed him to reverse time. Once Superman went back far enough, he casually started moving forward in time and returned to find that Lois was alive again. Although the science of how any of that worked was questionable, his speedy time travel made for an undeniably iconic sequence.
Hi. Don't bother, I think it's dead.
Number 14, Making Mongol Pay, Justice League Unlimited. The villainous Mongol thought he could trap Superman in a fantasy world and get away with it. But as soon as the hero was freed from the villain's trap, the extremely angry Clark flew to get revenge.
Do you have any idea what you did to me?
Superman mercilessly smacked Mongol around with truly vicious hits. The hero also inflicted pain with his heat vision. At one point, Superman pummeled Mongol so hard that the villain's face was literally bent out of shape.
Do you know what I've lost? What I've...
Clark's friends eventually stepped in and trapped the antagonist in a twisted fantasy. But if Superman's battle had continued, he might not have shown Mongol any mercy. Number 13, An Unjust Superman Stops Holding Back, Injustice. Once it becomes clear a murderous variant of Superman won't stop killing, a good version of the Man of Steel is brought from another dimension.
I'm deeply sorry for your losses, but you're on the wrong side of this. No one is talking me out of this, not even you.
After words fail to reach the corrupt Kryptonian, the two trade blows and lasers. The good Clark gets the upper hand at first, but when the twisted Superman gets backed into a corner, he stops holding back. The unjust Kryptonian tosses his opponent around the world. Not only does this twisted Superman uppercut his opponent into space, he also smacks the good Clark down into the Earth. It takes a surprise visit from a variant of Lois Lane to calm this corrupted hero down. We're honestly unsure if the good Superman could have stopped his relentless and unjust counterpart. Number 12, Stomping Out Steppenwolf, Zack Snyder's Justice League. From the moment Superman arrived to confront Steppenwolf, it was abundantly clear who would come out on top.
For Darkseid.
Not impressed.
Although the villain had killed Amazons and Atlanteans with his axe, the weapon was an utter joke to the Man of Steel. Superman continued to embarrass Steppenwolf by outspeeding and overpowering the antagonist with virtually no effort. And, to add insult to injury, Superman deliberately lasers off one of the villain's horns. We almost felt bad that Steppenwolf ended up on the wrong side of this absolute slaughter. But he should have known better than to mess with Earth when this incredible Superman was around.
All right.
Number 11, Thrashing Darkseid, Justice League Dark, Apocalypse War. In this grim tale, Darkseid rendered Superman powerless before dumping the hero on a dying Earth. When the Man of Steel got his abilities back, he harnessed all his pent-up rage to deliver a harsh beating. Superman unleashed a flurry of devastating blows, and even punched Darkseid when the villain was down.
You took everything from me! Now I'm gonna make you pay!
When the antagonist tried to use his famous Omega Beams, Clark attempted to perform some impromptu eye surgery to stop the villain. Superman's righteous rampage was only interrupted when the sinister Trigon tagged himself into the battle.
Go. Unless you would fight me for the right to destroy him.
Darkseid was lucky that a fellow villain spared him from Superman's immeasurable wrath. Number 10, Supercharging himself with solar power, Superman and Lois. Allie Alston aimed to become all-powerful by merging two worlds together. To make matters worse, she drained Superman of all his powers. With two Earths hanging in the balance, Clark volunteered to be thrown into the sun to get his abilities back.
Are you sure this is gonna work?
I've never been more unsure about anything in my entire life. But I have to believe it will.
Superman withstands the power of the star and emerges more formidable than he ever was before. He's so mighty that he actually encourages Allie to try and absorb the immense power he held within his body. After it becomes too much for her to handle, he defeats two versions of the villain and captures them. For his victory lap, Clark flies around two Earths and unleashes the solar energy within him. The supercharged Superman's actions shone brighter than the sun itself. Number 9, Killing Brainiac, Smallville. you're a teenager, it can be tough to manage your emotions. But add to that superpowers and a psychotic supervillain, and you've got a recipe for some serious mayhem. As Brainiac is cornered by teenage Superman, the Maniac teases him, knowing that whatever he does, he'll have the last laugh. In a fit of rage, Clark sends him flying into an electrical grid. He then shoves cables through his chest, frying the villain from the inside out.
You'll never hurt anyone else ever again.
He didn't just want to finish Brainiac, he wanted him to suffer. Number 8. Cranky Superman. Batman the Brave and the Bold. Kryptonite can't only remove the Man of Steel's powers. With a color change, this material can wreak arguably worse havoc. During Battle of the Superheroes, Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen are tricked by Lex Luthor into exposing Superman to red kryptonite. This drastically changes his personality to that of a sadistic, heartless grade-A meanie. He tries to kill Toyman, disowns Krypto the Superdog, and becomes the self-proclaimed king of Metropolis.
Now hear this, citizens of Metropolis. I am in charge now. Kneel before King Superman.
He completely disregards and actively seeks to kill his friends, but Batman manages to stop him before he can do too much damage.
Are you all right?
Yes, I think so. I'm sorry, Batman. I don't know what came over me.
Number 7. Superman Awakens. Zack Snyder's Justice League. In perhaps the most anticipated moment in the Justice League movie, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Cyborg, and Batman all join forces to resurrect a dead Kal-El to prepare for Steppenwolf's invasion. But as he wakes up, he's got a little more than the morning crankies.
Kal-El, no!
Completely turning against his allies, Superman pummels everyone on the team, dropping them one by one, completely outmatching their abilities. With Batman being the last left standing, Supes drops him down to size with some devastating heat vision, which not even the Bat's gauntlet can fully absorb.
Clark. Clark, no!
It's only when Lois Lane arrives that he's able to snap out of his raging state. Otherwise, things might have gotten a bit out of hand. Number 6. Clark Kent vs. Evil Superman. Superman 3. Superman breaks bad again. After being exposed to synthetic kryptonite, Superman gets drunk and starts wreaking havoc. When the good-natured Clark Kent splits from him, things start to get serious. The two duke it out, dealing savage, superpowered blows to each other. What's particularly notable about this moment is that while we expect evil Superman to get savage, his good side doesn't hold back either, tossing his dark counterpart into a pool of acid. Eventually, Kent gets the upper hand and chokes out his other self, allowing the two to fuse and become whole again. Number 5. Superman takes down Doomsday. The Death of Superman.
I don't know what hole you crawled out of, or where you came from, but I'm sending you back.
Every time the Blue Boy Scout takes on one of the universe's deadliest aliens, we know we're in for an awesome scene. Seeing Supes pick up a kryptonite spear and beat Doomsday after being impaled was pretty fantastic. However, Clark gets an even more impressive moment in the animated movie. After Doomsday defeats all of the Justice League, Superman becomes Earth's last stand against the beastly Doomsday. The Kryptonian eventually gives everything in his body to attack the villain one last time. Superman's final blow breaks his foe's neck instantly. Although Clark doesn't survive the battle, he won the war against Doomsday in an absolutely beastly way.
Is he?
Yes. You did it.
Number 4. Killing General Zod, Man of Steel. Many stories about this invincible hero tend to be more about moral choices than overcoming the odds. As a result, going beast mode in this entry didn't mean losing his temper, but breaking the one rule that separates him from his enemies.
If you love these people so much, you can mourn for them.
Kal-El gets General Zod in a headlock, but Zod is about to kill a trapped family, and Superman faces a difficult decision. In a move that proved controversial, Superman crosses a line that he never thought he would. He gives in and savagely breaks his fellow Kryptonian's neck, leaving him lifeless on the floor. Superman may have saved lives, but he had to dig into a dark place to do it. Number 3. Superman overwhelms the Kryptonians. Superman 2. Christopher Reeves' portrayal of the hero was more optimistic and less edgy than more recent interpretations. This is why Superman taking down his enemies when they're helpless seems so darkly out of character. After cornering him in the Fortress of Solitude, Zod orders Superman into a crystal chamber, hoping to expose him to red sunlight and remove his powers. However, Superman planned for this. He reversed the process, exposing his enemies while keeping himself safe, leaving them entirely powerless. He crushes Zod's hand with an iron grip and sends him falling into an endless pit, his posse joining him shortly after. Afterward, Kent can't help but smirk as it all came together.
Hey, you know something? You're a real pain in the neck.
Number 2. Superman vs. Darkseid. Justice League Unlimited.
Excuse me.
Since Superman is so powerful, it can be hard to know if he's using his full capabilities. That wasn't in question during the acclaimed animated series Justice League Unlimited when Kal-El comes face to face with the Lord of Apocalypse.
That man won't quit as long as he can still draw a breath. None of my teammates will. Me? I've got a different problem.
Lecturing him about how delicate his world is, the Dark God starts to realize what he's gotten himself into as our red and blue protector sends shockwaves across the city. Here, we as the audience get a glimpse of what a pissed-off Superman looks like.
Had enough.
Not quite yet.
Number 1. Superman loses it. Superman vs. the Elite. Ever wonder what had happened if Superman lost it? Enter Manchester Black and his team, the Elite. This superhuman gang thinks that killing is the best way to deliver justice and keep the peace. Our Boy Scout disagrees, and the two come to blows. Superman is sent into a seizure by Black's psychic abilities and then blasted into oblivion. Or so it seems. He takes out the team one by one, declaring that killing is the answer after all. He even burns out part of Black's brain. Fortunately, it was all a trick to isolate and remove their powers. Well, except Black's lobotomy. That was real. And now we know that if Superman gave in to his darker instincts, no one would stand a chance.
This isn't you! You don't do this!
I do now.
When Superman is letting loose completely, is there any fictional character who could stop him?
Think you know everything about Superman? Think again. We're going to end things today with 20 fascinating facts about the last son of Krypton.
Up in the sky, look! It's a bird! It's a plane!
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the best and most surprising facts about DC's Man of Steel through his various media appearances in history.
But it just can't be.
Number 20. Superman created Bald Luthor. Best known for being foes, Lex and Superman in some iterations have also been BFFs.
You're the only real friend I've ever had, Clark.
But what's less known is that Clark Kent played a role in turning the billionaire into his big bad. In 1960's Adventure Comics number 271, Lex is a big fan of Superboy as he saves the hero from a kryptonite meteorite. Clark returns the favor by helping the human with his experiments. However, when Lex gets careless and ignites a chemical fire, Superboy arrives to blow out the blaze.
Lex, are you all right?
However, some of the fire ends up on Lex's noggin, turning it into the shiny dome we know today. He immediately blames Superboy, ignoring the fact that he saved his life, and begins his lifelong hatred of him.
Now you'll never have this kryptonite antidote I invented for...
Number 19. The expensive first issue. Famously, Superman made his comic debut in 1938's Action Comics #1. Due to the importance and longevity of the character, that issue is one of the most expensive in existence.
Junk.
In 2010, a copy sold at auction allowed a family to save their home after it was foreclosed. In 2012, a copy believed to have belonged to Nicolas Cage sold for $2.16 million. Then in 2021, another one was bought for a stunning $3.25 million. Yet 2024 saw the record sale for the most expensive comic book issue get smashed once again when Action Comics #1 went for an incredible $6 million. Time to start going through your back issues in case this is hiding away.
In order to make money in that game, you have to buy for a little and sell for a lot.
Number 18. Mermaid dating. Fun fact, Superman is a bit of a collector. He likes to accumulate love interests with the initials LL. More on that later. Yet one that's often overlooked took place in 1959's Superman #129. In this comic, Clark meets Lori Lemaris, a woman in a wheelchair, as they both attend Metropolis University. Their romance gets passionate super quickly, leading to Clark declaring his love and proposing marriage. However, Lori, after making the realization with her telepathy, mentions she knows he's Superman. Later, he finds out her secret, that she's actually a mermaid. However, Lori had to return to the sea, ending their relationship and making her the one that got away.
General Lori Lemaris of Tritonus in the Indian Ocean.
Number 17. Making an adult film. With such a long history, there are bound to be some Superman stories that are baffling. Case in point, facing off with the villainous Sleaze in a couple of issues of 1987's Action Comics. The baddie had taken former New Gods member Big Barda hostage and mind-controlled her to do gross stuff for him. A misunderstanding leads to her and Superman being controlled by Sleaze. So the creature influences both to threaten an adult film creator so he can record the duo making a mucky movie that he can sell. Thankfully, before it goes too far, Scott Free, aka Mr. Miracle, managed to save his wife, Barda, and Superman from this fate. But still, it's uncomfortable how close this came to happening. Number 16. Fighting Muhammad Ali. Considered one of the best boxers to ever enter a ring, Ali had done it all and battled most of the elite. However, he had not taken on Superman yet. Well, that changed in 1978's all-new collector's edition number C56. The invading Scrub Emperor issued a challenge that Earth's champion would face his, Hanya, with the fate of the planet on the line. Superman and Ali argued with each other over who would fight. This led to the duo training near a red sun, which depowers Superman, allowing Ali to beat him in training. During the actual bout between the two, a powerless Clark is annihilated by Ali, who held nothing back. He then went on to beat Hanya with another knockout. Number 15. Natural Disaster Man. Quite often in various media, Superman tends to hold back or avoid intimate acts in case he hurts the person he's with.
You know, on second thought, maybe we should go.
Well, that was not the case in the miniseries The Dark Knight Strikes Again, a sequel to 1986's pivotal Batman story The Dark Knight Returns. At one point, the heroes, including the Caped Crusader, beat up Superman really badly.
That's fear.
Wonder Woman finds him, leading to the duo getting hot and heavy. Real emphasis on that phrase as they slam into the Earth during the act, causing many natural disasters around the world. This included creating a 7.8 earthquake, a volcanic eruption, and hurricanes, taking the lives of untold numbers of people. Not exactly family-friendly. Number 14. The Many Kryptonites. Everyone knows about green kryptonite and its damage to soups.
Mind over muscle?
But there is a whole rainbow of other colors out there that can cause all sorts of effects on Kryptonians. One example is black kryptonite. The Batman Who Laughs used a variant of this to drive Supergirl, Superman, and Superboy into a killing frenzy, resulting in their deaths and their families' deaths. The gold kryptonite can strip Kryptonians of their powers, which Superman famously did to himself in the epic story Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow. There's even a red one that had unpredictable effects, such as excessive hair growth or new powers. There are many other versions, including silver, platinum, white, purple, and even pink. More on that last one later. Number 13. Beating the KKK. Superman has always been a pillar of social justice as he tackles hate groups and exposes corruption.
To best be in a position to use his amazing powers in a never-ending battle for truth and justice, Superman has assumed the disguise of Clark Kent.
That reputation even goes back to his early days. Inspired by Stetson Kennedy's real-life story of infiltrating the Ku Klux Klan and publicizing its inner workings, the radio show The Adventures of Superman developed the 1946 story Clan of the Fiery Cross, in which Supes battled the hate group.
We just need a quick look at your green card.
Green card.
You are an alien, are you not?
In 2019, inspired by the radio tale, DC released the story Superman Smashes the Klan. Taking place in 1946, Superman helps the Chinese-American family the Lees when they and his other friends are targeted by the KKK. Number 12. Superman was originally a baddie. Within DC's multiverse, there are several Earths where Superman is a villain. Looking at you, Injustice.
You've had an unfathomable loss. You need time to process it.
However, most of the time, he's a good egg. Yet before he made his debut in the comics, Superman was originally thought of as a baddie by his creators, Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. In issue 3 of their own fanzine, Science Fiction, The Advance Guard of Future Civilization from 1933, one of the stories was titled The Reign of the Superman. Destitute Bill Dunn is experimented on, granting him telepathy powers as he plans to take over the world as Superman. However, the potion he consumed was temporary. Unfortunately for Dunn, he killed the scientist before getting the formula. Whoops.
Kal-El, no!
Number 11. The many, many powers. Flight, heat vision, invulnerability, and so many more. Superman has loads of incredible powers, many of which are a blueprint for superheroes. However, in his long history, he's also had several strange powers. One of which involved him being able to use telepathy to control people's minds to get out of binds. Another had him being able to manipulate his plastic features to create a super disguise. This metamorphosis ability allowed Supes to pretend to be other people. Yet perhaps his weirdest was in 1958's Superman number 125. After finding rays coming from his hands, it soon evolves into Supe being able to send out tiny Supermen, which also have his powers to do his bidding. Thankfully, it didn't last long.
I have the power to do as I please.
And the responsibility to do what is right.
Number 10. He couldn't always fly. When Superman burst on the scene in 1938's Action Comics number 1, he could do a lot of things no one else could. And although he could leap 1/8 of a mile and jump over a 20-story building, he couldn't fly.
How many people know you're from another planet?
What?
That you can bend steel in your bare hands, leap tall buildings in a single bound?
Hey, keep your voice down.
He first started flying in the animated cartoons of the 1940s, because that was a lot easier to animate. The powers that be at DC Comics saw the result, and soon, the Man of Steel was regularly soaring in the clouds and beyond to save the world. Number 9. Darth Vader trained Superman. Okay, so not literally, although we would love to see that crossover on the big screen. David Prowse, the actor who physically portrayed the Sith Lord, helped the actor who played Superman on the big screen, Christopher Reeve, get in shape.
Okay, kids, it's all right now. Hey, it's Superman!
When Reeve was hired for the 1978 movie, the actor had a great look and the right attitude, but his body didn't have the mass that the character needed. Enter Prowse, who had just been the physical vessel for James Earl Jones's voice in Star Wars.
The circle is now complete. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master.
The bodybuilder and trainer helped Reeve pack on 30 pounds of muscle so he could appropriately fill out Supes' costume.
Well, they say confession's good for the soul.
Number 8. Some people believe in a Superman curse. Is being in a Superman movie or TV project a curse? Probably not, but it does feel like it. It begins with George Reeves, star of the 1950s Superman TV series, who was ruled to have taken his own life, but many believe it was murder. Subsequently, Christopher Reeve, Marlon Brando, and Richard Pryor experienced various traumas, as did Lane Smith, the actor who played Perry White on the Lois and Clark TV show.
Jimmy, I did not become editor of a major newspaper because I can do it.
Even Lee Quigley, the infant who played baby Christopher Reeve, died while just a teenager. Eerie.
This is all I can send you. Kal-El.
Number 7. He's vulnerable to more than just kryptonite. Everyone knows that the glowing green rock from his home planet can weaken or even kill Superman, but the Man of Might also has other weaknesses.
Didn't your dad ever teach you to before you leap?
Put him under a red sun, for example, and he pretty much loses all his powers.
What's wrong? This is the red sun. It weakens me.
Also, magic has been shown over and over to really do him in. That weakness to magic extends to creatures like werewolves and vampires as well.
So, what are Superman's weaknesses?
I don't know. I'm not sure if I ever had any.
I wasn't talking to you.
Number 6. One type of kryptonite alters the sexual preferences of straight Kryptonians. This is one of those facts that we bet Superman fans would rather we forget.
No way it's this easy.
In a very memorable story from 2003 set in an alternate timeline, Superman gets exposed to a new form of kryptonite, pink kryptonite. As a result, he is temporarily transformed into a super gay stereotype. It's essentially confined to one panel, but it made a huge impression, and not necessarily a positive one. Intended to be played for laughs, the swish factor involved makes it positively embarrassing.
I believe in second chances. I believe in redemption. But mostly, I believe in my friends.
Number 5. A bizarre number of people in Superman's life have the initials LL. A little alliteration is nice, but the cast of characters around Superman takes it to an extreme.
Who is she?
The trendy fashion designer, LL.
LL? Lana Lang?
The list of people with the initials LL starts, of course, with perennial love interest Lois Lane. But there have been other girlfriends that fit this category. Teen sweetheart Lana Lang, college crush Lori Lemaris, and Kryptonian lover Lila Laryl. Of course, arch-enemy Lex Luthor also sports those initials, and Supergirl's original identity was Linda Lee. Lois's sister Lucy also hung out in Metropolis on occasion. Makes you wonder what the LL is going on with Superman's writers.
Don't sound so shocked, Clark. Guys do find me attractive even though I don't have raven hair and the initials LL.
That's not what I meant.
Number 4. Superman and Batman's artists went on double dates.
You're late. What took you? I honestly don't think you'd understand.
Joe Shuster was the guy who drew Superman originally, and Jerry Robinson was one of the early artists who gave Batman his classic look. In many ways, these two are the fathers of Superman and Batman, so it's interesting to note that they often took out girls together. Robinson referred to these as his Superman-Batman double dates. Shuster is reputed to have been a bit of a bodybuilder, and Robinson was the more contemplative type, so the comparison is especially apt.
Want to stick around for a while? Lois and I can't. It's late. Late?
Number 3. Clark's disguise goes beyond just a pair of glasses. What kind of reporter can Lois Lane be if she can't figure out that Clark Kent is just Superman wearing glasses?
Lois, for goodness sake, didn't you hear me knocking?
Uh-huh.
In fact, Superman's efforts go beyond just putting on the specs. First, those lenses are tinted to make Clark's eyes appear a different shade. And though they share the same hair color, they part on different sides. Loose, roomy clothing disguises Clark's impressive physique, as does a tendency toward poor posture.
Well, that's, very amusing.
Also, Clark's voice is higher and softer, lacking Superman's virile tones. Finally, Clark's meek personality is a disguise in itself. So cut Lois a little slack, but only a little considering how much time she spends with both of them.
It is you. I guess I've known this for the longest time.
Number 2. Kryptonite, Perry White, and Jimmy Olsen first appeared on the Superman radio show. Superman may have debuted in the comic books, but he quickly became a multimedia sensation.
Behind you, Mr. Kent. I made it myself. It's a cake.
Comic strips, movie serials, and radio programs quickly followed his funny book debut. All of these fed on ideas and characters created in the comic book, but the radio show made its own contributions to the Superman mythos. Kryptonite itself only exists as an excuse to put Superman out of commission for a few days to give the voice actor Bud Collyer a vacation from time to time. The books were quick to latch on to the radio's kryptonite as a challenge for the increasingly powerful Man of Tomorrow.
You're wrong! No. As it happens, you are wrong.
Number 1. The guys who created Superman sold all their rights for a measly $130. Superman may be able to do just about anything, but not even he could keep his creators from making the biggest mistake of their lives.
I thought it was a terrific idea, and we went right to work.
right then and there.
Writer Jerry Siegel and artist Joe Shuster were quite happy when they sold their creation for a mere $130. Granted, $130 went a lot farther in 1938 than it does today, but it still does not compare to the billions that the character has generated over the years. The creators did sue and eventually received a better deal. It may be a victory for truth and justice, but it certainly is the American way.
That's a wonderful story, Lois.
Thanks, Clark, but I owe it all to Superman.
With nearly a century of history behind him and a new cinematic adventure upon us, there's one thing for certain: Superman isn't going anywhere. Thanks for watching. I've been Matt for Watch Mojo, and I'll see you next time.